used to be my dog poop picker. So I trained him. And whenever I'm not here, I can stay 2 months away and he's in charge.
Wow.
And they all are capable of entering data on the computer, which they do religiously twice a day. I can be wherever I am, I get into my computer system and I know in real time what's happening here at home in the plant.
Have you ever tried something else?
Pardon?
Have you ever tried something else other than lettuce?
Oh yes, oh yes. I have produced tomatoes that weigh 3 pounds a piece. 3 pounds per tomato. I can show you pictures. And they are sturdy and no holes in between, just like in what you see in generally locally produced tomatoes, and very sweet. The only reason why I came out of it is when I compared the numbers, and not everybody can afford my tomatoes because they cost a little more than what the peasant makes in the dirt. In addition to that, they are very much affected by fungi during the rainy season. So I kind of backed off, but I am preparing to go back into tomatoes, but I don't want to go into competition with the local peasant. I have started producing successfully cherry tomatoes. So I will be selling a whole salad that contains 3 kinds of lettuce, not to say 4, in a box with the tomatoes and a homemade vinaigrette. Ready-made, washed, ready to eat.
So I see red leaf, green leaf, Boston maybe?
I have romaine, and at the Boston I have the seeds.
Oh, okay.
So I will be
Doing that.
making in one box. Somebody will have a variety of lettuce. Just
cucumbers, peppers.
I have done peppers, very big ones. But again, I'm out of space.
Now, is the tomatoes done in the same architecture?
No, the tomatoes, I used to produce them here, but I moved them down there. Now I have chased them out and put lettuce, but I'm very flexible.
Right.
The tomatoes need to be hung, and I use...
Upside? Do you do hung upside down?
No,
or?
no. I think this is a fad.
Okay.
It is not industrial.
Right.
It's a fad. But my tomatoes grow 40 feet long.
40 feet long?
40 feet long.
Yeah, tomato is a vine.
It's a
Yes, I
vine.
know, but
Just needs to be supported.
It is supported all along. And as they get to the end of the tomato area, I turn them back and they go this way. They keep on producing and I turn them back again until fungi kills them. Or they become so old they can no longer produce good tomatoes. But there is a possibility for that. If we had a country that was looking at building wealth instead of burning rubber, so we should be
Exporting.
empowering our population to produce with modern technology,
yes.
with the proper assistance by those who will learn, and I can increase tenfold the output of a piece of land just by using hydroponics. Tenfold. So that's my dream, to be able to do it. And
How do you, if it's your dream to do it, how do you envision sharing this information with us or with others and with the people, and how would you do that?
I have some land. I'm from the south.
Okay.
The same as
Kai.
yeah.
You're from Lakai, you're from Kai.
I'm from Lakai. So, and
We love Lakai.
Oh yeah. We have some land in Campirin, and it so happens that the Canal d'Abzac, which funnels millions of gallons of fresh, clean water from the Macaya Mountain
Just west of the airport.
all the way there. The Canal d'Abzac cuts right through my property. In addition to having fresh water, I have found on the internet turbine that can be put into that water current that will generate 12, 24 volts at low denivellation. There's a lot of current going through, and I can take that, store them into my huge battery, and I'll say, EDH, boom, 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 So all that I can be quite autonomous in Camperin. I have more land in Camperin than I have here. So the idea is to be able to have what I call an antenna there. Because Lekai does not produce vegetables. They import them from Port-au-Prince, from this area here. There is a tendency nowadays to have new hotels being developed in Port-Salut, in Île-à-Vache, and we sell vegetable to them sometimes when they ask for it, when business is good. So just imagine for a moment that the roads are good, and imagine for a moment that the government is wise enough to say, okay, Port-au-Prince is rotten. We are going to bring our tourism outside of the Port-au-Prince. When it is clean, where it is free and there is no danger of gangs, etc. They should do just like Jamaica does. Jamaica has the highest rate of criminality in the whole Caribbean area. And yet you can see the advertising on TV, come on down and be all right, this kind of stuff. So, but we don't do it because our leadership is limited mentally, unfortunately.
Well said.
Well said.
Okay, so they need to
So you could build bigger gardens to produce more.
Absolutely.
But here's the question: is this it? Do you want to share this with the people to make this more available to others, or do you just want to grow your business? In other words,
no.
Here.
I want to do both.
So what's your plan to share it with the people?
Starting from Camperin, for example, I would have some kind of a class or hangar and bring the people around who are interested and impressed by the productivity of that system. You know, poverty is a terrible thing, and you have the peasant who toils all his life to bring his children to a better situation than he was. And that child, that young man or young woman, Father?
I'm an example of that.
Well, that's fine, that's beautiful. That young man or young man, instead of having an opportunity, goes and follows the trend. If we tell that young man, come back to the family creuset, we are going to teach you something that will honor you, because you don't have to get dirty to do that. In addition to that, you are productive, you can make money out of it, and you can join with others who do the same thing as you, not exactly the same produce, and create a real cooperative for local consumption as the first stage. And then we should look beyond our borders to be able to export to the surrounding Caribbean islands, who themselves don't have what we have. They are all importing from France, the US, and Canada, and we are the closest. So we have strategically an advantage being closer, except we need to create competitivity. And we have a theme here: national production, international quality. So that's the kind of level that we have to bring our production to, so that it is at the world quality level. And we will join different people who participate in that program in cooperative. We can say, okay, you are going to produce lettuce, you will produce tomatoes, you will produce cucumbers, and your share will be directly proportional to what the revenue is. Very simple. Of course, there will be part of it that will be dedicated for renewing the equipment, extending the experiment. See, those pipes are 20 years old. So only the initial investment is important. The water is renewable. Maximum utilization of the fertilizer, because they don't get drained away or go pollute waters. And whenever, if I'm not I was keen enough into doing it, I just store the used fertilizer in a big tank back there, and I use it for my wife's garden plants. Nothing is lost.
In your controlled environment production, is your overhead expense for electricity, for cooling, affecting the price of your end product, or will your increased production cover your overhead?
Okay,
Increase
there will be a time where we will reach the break-even point. Nonetheless, the initial investment to be able to do what I'm doing right now, I had to dig deep and out $60,000 all by myself. I never, we use in that system Haitian Creole that the pig's fat shall cook the pig. And that's the way, that's the way we have been doing it until I needed to have that huge investment immediately in one shot to buy the equipment. So I went to the bank and I borrowed $60,000 to buy, you will good see I have fans that are taller than you. And I have batteries that cost me about $8,000. All that is part of the modernization of the system. Now to answer your question, the biggest cost in all that will be the cooling system, the initial investment. Then the maintenance of that cooling system to make sure that it is fed in electricity, with energy, etc. Maybe in the future, I will go solar. I have made all the calculations. Despite all the progress that were made, solar is still too expensive for what I'm doing.
How about wind?
There is not enough wind here.
Up here.
No. There is not enough wind in this area. And when it comes very strong and destroys everything. You know? There is not
Feast or
wind.
famine.
Yeah. We live high in the mountain. Here we are 1,300 meters above sea level. And you can see there's always a nice breeze, but no wind that is worth investing into wind turbine. That's it.
Yeah, it's pretty still up here at the moment, at least.
Yeah. If you want to follow me.